You want to know the secret about these tiny pins on the back of the violin? This one here. Some people think instruments are Italian Cremonese only with these pins. Stay tuned and I will tell you the whole story behind this. Hello, back again. Today we talk about the pins which you see on the back of every violin when it's made in Cremona in the 17th century. And even nowadays, these pins sometimes are in the middle of the back. Sometimes they are Guarnieri-like. Hold on, I'm coming here. You can even see it here in the middle, just here where the neck comes in. And on the bottom down here, it is somehow overlapping the purfling. On a real Stradivari, this is definitely different. This is just the first Strad like this, and you see it a tiny little bit. You see like a half moon, because the rest of this pin is covered by the purfling. Up here, and even down below here, the same thing. Here you see it a little bit more. That shows us that when they built the instrument, they used these nails, but how comes? The whole story starts in the 17th century, 16th century, 15th century, when they built all the instruments not in this style how we nowadays are used, but they made them baroque. Baroque instrument means that once they had the ribs, they had to put on a neck. So they didn't glue on the back how we did in the violin making school, but they finished the ribs, put it the rib top side where the top will come on a flat area, prepared a nice neck, not here with this angle which is like nowadays, but square, and then adapted this part of the neck until it was without gap, fitting in a way that the surface for gluing the baroque fingerboard would be all aligned to the same flat area of the top. So that means that it was very easy to build a straight instrument. They traced the line of a flat area, positioned the ribs very well with clamps, adjusted the neck in a way that it was just lining up perfectly. Once they did all this, they glued on the neck, but they knew already it won't be strong enough. So from the inside, they put it 3 nails. They had a flame. You put these nails into the fire until they're really red before they're melting. And then you go into this neck foot, only 1, and on the upper side 2 nails. So all Stradivarius, Guarnieris, Amatis, they all had on the inside these 3 famous dots, burnt dots, right? They glued it and they nailed it with these hot nails. And these nails were long, like 3 centimeters more or less. They go inside, it goes in like into a marshmallow. And then you take a hammer and then tick, 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 and it goes pretty quick. You just have to watch out not to hammer too much, otherwise the scroll goes down, so you don't exaggerate by hammering. But it goes pretty quick inside, and once it's cold, it really keeps very strong. Finish that, they had lots of violins like this in their workshop. But actually the most important thing, you know what it is? Is that you subscribe. That's most important. Then you get all the information you know right away. Thanks, and it doesn't cost you anything. Don't tell others, or don't tell them. And then comes here top and back. And to position the back in a correct and easy way, in order that while they were working, and this is here kind of deforming, they started to calculate from the edge how far they have to go in order that these nails could be like hidden underneath the later on inserted and glued in purfling. The purfling is of a distance of 4 millimeters. The edge is overlapping approximately 2 millimeters something, so they went like 3 millimeters inside on the joint on the side. Everybody did it somewhere, and they brought also a hole here, chop, and they put it on. At that time, they did not pay too much attention that the joint was really the central line of the instrument. Okay, this is something I have to say, because sometimes you see these old instruments and you definitely see that the joint is a little bit off the central line of the instrument. At the time, they didn't pay that much attention to that. They were focusing on other things they thought more important. Actually, how we see nowadays, their instruments really sound well, so they did something pretty good. So to fix that already in the length, they just signed it like this with these nails and kept it in the right position. Then they traced around and made the back, cut it out the back all the way around, rough working, arching, made the outside, they made the instrument, and still when they glued it on, the edge work was still to be cut away. So they made the top, they made the back, and then worked on this ready violin-shaped instrument. So the reason to fix the top and the back in a specific position had a completely different importance than nowadays. Nowadays we are control freaks and we definitely want to make things that we have everything under control. We don't have the neck already inserted. We do that all like here. This is the violin Marco. Finished everything, put it in the label here, Marco Dotti, ready to go, and probably tomorrow he closes the body. Then he takes his neck, signing exactly where is the middle and everything, and then he's inserting inside this block here. This one is inside, it's not attached on the ribs, but it is inside the ribs. Yeah. So by doing it how we have it nowadays, these positioning pins, let's call them, do not have anymore this priority or this importance to exist. I certainly, if I make a copy of a Guarnieri, I put it exactly where also Guarnieri put it. And Guarnieri was famous that he didn't pay attention to where it will end up. He ended up in here, on the side, wherever. While Stradivari was very, very precise, calculating in a way that it just ended up slightly underneath the purfling. So here on the Stradivari of 2002, and you can see this half moon. So even at the time, for many years, I always used it. If I needed it or not, I just used it because even here on the lower end, you can see it very well. It's more a question of style nowadays. There is no reason to have it. This is actually the whole story about these end pins, and they don't make any difference in sound. How do you want your violin to be made? With or without pins? Write me your comments. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed even this one today. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Tell your friends and subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, man. Ciao, ciao. But they made them Baroque. Baroque instrument means